vacate so the choir to you. Everybody ready?
Heck yeah.
All right, let's take a deep breath. They're trying to fall asleep. All right. Listen back to Dale. Here we go. One, two, one, two, three.
Lay down your Moses child, your wandering star a while. Hang your heart on a quiet soul, stay all in the house of gold. Each room has many mansions, each mansion many rooms. You'll sleep on sheets of silver, you'll eat on plates of moon. I will take up my linen, I will robe and go. I do not need your mansions, I will live in the house of soul. Bring me my Florida water, send me my serpent free. Hang you no stars above me, I am bound for anxiety. All the love they're gonna give me, all the love, all the love, all the love. They're gonna be my family now. And y'all can keep your thrones. I've been up on the mountain, I've been to the end of the line. I pierced the fiery curtain, the only face I touch was mine. I'll burn me through Ohio, I'll find the apple seed who lives on life and bugs. His mouth will glow when he starts to preach. I'll burn me through the handle, I'll drink the cactus truth. Up here to Peo Terrace, hills the color of conqueror. I got my heavy working, I hung your capstone too. I'm the king of milk crates, honey, say my name and you know it's true. I got my heavy working, I like my life and sweet. I've been a beast of burden, that is to say I am the beast.
Bill? Is Bill? Hi, Bill. We're going to do something here.
Bill, nice to get you.
Yay. You could roll me an A7. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. Though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright, 'cause we've already started to sing. You're gonna sing this with me. We do have words on the slide. The next slide. We are going, your turn. We are going, my turn, to a place where music, falls and fills up everything. Falls and fills up everything. Though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright. 'Cause we've already started to sing. We're going to do it again with the echo. We're going to take it up a bit. We are going. Your turn. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. Falls and fills up everything. Though it might be a long time. Oh, you sound great. I know it's gonna be all right. 'Cause we've already started to sing. Let's rise in body and spirit. Here we go. 2 and 3. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. Though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright. Why? 'Cause we've already started to sing. Here we go again. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. Though it might be a long time, I know it's gonna be alright. 'Cause we've already started to sing.
So welcome to the Unitarian Church of Lincoln on this Sunday morning. My name is the Reverend Oscar Sinclair. Normally I would say I'm joined by our worship associate. I am joined by the Reverend Juniper Meadows of Second Unitarian, Dr. Bob Fusen, our music director, Julie Ederson, our choir director, the A Street Band, the choir, musicians from Second Unitarian, and I think the whole of Second Unitarian joining us on live stream. So if you would all look back at that camera, the one with the blue light on it.
Hello, you!
There we go. So we talk a lot about joining in community and the reasons we do that and the ways that we do that. Let me back up. I don't have a whole lot of speaking roles in this service, so I'm going to take a moment now because you've given a preacher a microphone. I just finished a theology chapter for my thesis, right? In 20 pages, there are 60 footnotes. And it was supposed to end with this reflection on Ed Friedman and theology and systems. And as I was writing it, what it instead ended with was a story of listening to a piece of music. That's where the theology piece ended for me. So we talk a lot about how we bring people together at this church. It's not anything we say. Sometimes it is for some people. The thing that brings us together is music. Today, that's very, very literal. It is a joy to be together. It is a joy to hear all of these different musicians bringing their gifts to us. It is a joy that the message is as much the music as any words that we will say this morning. The only other thing that I'll say as far as announcements, because I just saw Joellen walk in. Yeah. I'll do one better. So we were approached by St. Paul's United Methodist about a letter that they're trying to get published in the Journal Star in the next month, supporting reproductive rights in Lincoln. So they're asking for signatures of people of faith. So Joellen Polzine and Meg Mering from our board are going to be out there during coffee hour gathering signatures with this clipboard. So I'm going to hand this off to one of them as I leave. Okay. That's almost all for me. So I will simply light the chalice and get out of the way, because the music is the message this morning. Thank you all for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here. Yes, so the next song is from Second Unitarian. That's off.
Papers, papers, papers. Okay, wonderful. Okay. I hear the crying of the hungry in the deserts where they're wandering. Hear them crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. Hear destructive powers prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crimes and acquisitions turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipated, and the loneliest to gather in their stalls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
So while you sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power, I can hear the flowers are growing in the rubble of the tower. I hear leaders quit their lying, I hear babies quit their crying, I hear soldiers quit their dying, one and all. Everybody, I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
I hear Noah's waterfall in the gentle land of Judah, sleeping at the feet of Buddha, and the prophets from Elijah to the old Bayou Babaca, taking places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
We got Chris Peters on mandolin and Tom Peterson, and I am Reverend Juniper Meadows. Thank you all so much for having us this morning.
This one?
So at this time, I'm going to invite any children who want to go back to the classroom where there is an ingathering today where the kids of our congregation are decorating pumpkins. So if you're interested in decorating pumpkins, now is the time to go do that. For adults, if you are interested in pumpkins, all the pumpkins that are currently being decorated will be in our gallery during coffee hour. The kids are decorating them, and then they are going to be up for sale for anybody that wants to take a pumpkin home. The proceeds are going to benefit our Whole Lives comprehensive sex education program. We are starting that up in person this year for the first time since the pandemic started. So, enjoy pumpkins today. In an awkward transition, we set aside time during our service every week to speak the joys and sorrows of our lives. We do this because just as music unites us, so too does sharing of ourselves. So into the shared silence, I'll first ask folks to speak or write into the live chat the name, your name, or a person that you are holding in sorrow. And then I'll invite you to do the same with those you are holding in joy. So who are we holding in sorrow this morning? Care for Dana and Craig. Rose. Margaret Brown. Heidi. Lynn and his family. Lois. Nicole's family.
Barbara Look.
Melissa and her husband, she has preeclampsia. Barbara Brooke. Jen, who lost her grandmother. In the live chat from Jamie Radcliffe, sorrow for my sister Jenny, feeling alone. We also know that sorrow is not the only story. The psalm says that sorrow endures for the night, but joy comes with the dawn. Who are we holding in joy this morning? Andy.
Music extravaganza.
Grace, our music extravaganza. This gathering.
On Tuesday, I turned 72.
On Tuesday, Evelyn turns 72. Skylar and Daniel have bought their first house. In Weeping Water. The Floodman family. Friend Alice made it out of the hospital.
Did I see that the RGL, the Unitarian RGL, adopted Principle 8? Did I see that this week?
Yes, the Liberal Religious Educators Association, or LREDA, is holding their annual conference this week, and they have adopted the 8th principle, so committing themselves to anti-racist work. Other joys. David and Raquel. Joy for Carol Kendrick, recovering well after surgery. Joy Cornell is out of the ICU. A thank you from Clarence for all the cards following surgeries. We know also that there are both sorrows and joys deeply felt but not yet spoken. So for all of those that are close to our hearts, let's hold a moment of silence. Amen. Thank you for your presence.
We're going to sing together. We're going to learn this song together. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, I'm not much of a singer. Well, that's good, because neither am I. But that's not the point. We're going to sing together. I'm going to sing the first part, and then we're going to sing it together, and then I'll sing the second part, and we'll sing it together, and then we'll sing the whole thing. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Now everybody, here we go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Off. Where you go, I will go. Off. One more time. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go. Now I'll sing the second part. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Everybody. And your people are my people. Your people, mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Let's sing that through one more time. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. And your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. And your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Stand as you're able. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. And your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Your people, one more time. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. And your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Very nice. Give yourselves a round of applause.
October is Pledge Month at the Unitarian Church of Lincoln. Our theme for the month is courage. These two things are actually not related. As part of Pledge Month, though, we are hearing from members of the congregation sharing what it means to them to be a part of this community and why they give back to this community. So I'd like to welcome Andy Larson to give the first pledge testimonial this week.
Hi, I'm Andy, and I use AM pronouns. I began attending UCL back in 2020, mostly because I missed singing with a large, non-judgmental group that didn't care I couldn't read music. I got to enjoy that for about 3 months, and then everything shut down. I couldn't sing with a group anymore, but I could log on to a Zoom meeting every Sunday morning and get to know some of the congregation and feel like part of a community. That helped a lot during those hard months when I was cut off from the nonprofits and social groups that I relied on for community before the pandemic. In the summer of 2020, I officially became a member of this church and gradually began to accept some responsibility for maintaining the community I had joined. By June of 21, I was on the LGBTQA welcoming committee
which, by the way, is desperately in need of members now to help maintain UCL's status as a welcoming congregation. Last year, we organized a float in the Star City Pride Parade, and this year the committee is completely dormant. Hit me or Pam Wakeman up if you're interested in joining. This community relies on people stepping up to continue being a welcoming, supportive, active space. The church also relies on its members for funding. Y'all are probably aware already that it's pledge season. Maybe you have more time and energy than money, but whatever you can contribute, this community needs you. If you can help out financially, that not only helps keep the lights on, but pays the wages of the staff who cover all the non-volunteer work. Times are tough for everyone, and that includes our lovely staff who have all been working very hard to keep this place running over the last few years. Please consider pledging because they're overdue for a raise. The online option through Realm is very convenient, or there are forms you can fill out to pledge. Thank you.
We also have a testimonial this morning from Christine Davis, who has pre-recorded hers.
To talk with you just a little bit about the place I have in the church and why and all those kinds of good things. So here's what I have to say. I think I have 3 things to say. Let's see if I get all 3 of them covered. One is that for me, the church is a place where I have over many years developed some awesome skills. The job I have right now is a job I have because of volunteer roles that I had in the church. And I never expected that to be part of my church life, but that's true. So I've had lots of chances to deploy a lot of my talents, and I brought gifts to the church, and they've been appreciated, which has been fun. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I really want the church to keep being a place that is, I guess you'd say, flat. And what I mean by that is that it's diverse. There's all kinds of different people from all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of socioeconomic circumstances that can be in community. And I know that's not so everywhere necessarily, but it's important to me. So when I look at something like pledging, for example, I think of what can we do collectively? That's kind of how I think of it. Not, what do I have to do? But what can we do collectively? And I understand we have like a $27,000 leap to make to get to UUA guidelines. So right away, I wanted to know, well, how many pledge units do we have? Do the math. And the math tells me that if every pledge unit that pledged last year, increased by just under $10 a month, boom, money raised. We did it. So, but I also know we can't all do that. Not everybody's in a position to raise their pledge $10 a month. Heck, for some people, that is their pledge, and that's the most that they can give. So I've always been aware that we have to think collectively. We have to think, how do we support and balance all the different circumstances of people in our congregation? And I'm happy to do that. I've done it for many years. I'm very fortunate to be more economically privileged, and I'm happy to have part of those resources that I have help to restore that balance. And I think there was a third thing. I think it was that I feel a lot of pride in what our church stands for in this community, especially when I see things in the news that make me think, they want to kind of squelch and the diversity in our community, and we're celebrating it. So I guess those are my top 3. 3. Yay. It's a trinity of a different kind.
So as this next song plays, the ushers will pass the plates to take up our collection this morning to benefit the work of this church and our partners in the world. The collection is not your pledge. This is important if you do want to pledge, you can either do that online or you can do it right out of the office. We have pledge forms available. The other thing that I'll say is I pledge here, but I also pledge at my home congregation in Baltimore. And so for those of us joining from Second U, this isn't just about this church. This is how we support Unitarian Universalism across the country. So pledge at whatever church you're a part of, whether that's here, Baltimore, Second Unitarian, or if you're just joining us online and you belong to the Methodist Church in Poughkeepsie, pledge there. The ushers will now pass the plates, and the collection will be gratefully received. And I'm going to go hang out with our youth group, so that is the last you'll hear of me for today.
Banjo song, all right. And it's in tune, how about that? Cue all the banjo jokes. This is a song we introduced at Second Unitarian, written by the Labana Choir, which is a women's choir, earth-centered, very cool. It's called The Earth, the Air, the Fire, the Water, Return. And it's really easy to pick up. It's kind of like a chant. So I invite you all, as you feel moved, to join us. We'll just sing this several times around. Mm-hmm. All right.
As it moves.
Yes. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi, oh. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi, oh. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi, oh. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi, oh. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi, oh. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi. Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, hi, oh, hi, oh.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know, and I can't imagine you wouldn't, but my name is Dr. Bob Fusen. I'm the music director here at the Unitarian Church of Lincoln. Firstly, I want to thank our friends from Second Unitarian, those who came out to join us, those who are playing, those in the live stream. Can we give them a round of applause, please? I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but we had a contingent of folks from 2U who came to the Antelope Park concert this summer. We took portions of A Street out to 2U and did a service there. So we've been building these bonds between churches. And also, if you're not aware, both of the other UU churches in the state, their religious educators came from this church. So Lincoln is a very, very important place right now. We're sending folks out everywhere. So our theme this month is courage. And of course, I'm speaking from a very biased opinion, but to me, nothing could be more courageous than attempting to play music, because music is about failure. It is constantly falling down. Next year, I will have been a saxophonist for 30 years. And my middle son plays saxophone now, and I teach him. And so when we have lessons, he goes, "Dad, how do you just do this?" And I said, couldn't always do this. Everyone sees the end result. Very few people see what goes on behind the scenes. That's true of the choir that sang today. That's true of the band. That's true of the 2 you musicians. Those songs did not start out the way you heard them today. It started out with a heavy, heavy dose of failure, of picking yourself back up, of having the courage to go, "Wow, I biffed that." And you can ask the folks in A Street. We all do that, right? It takes courage to be that open and to be that vulnerable and to expose yourself to people. And even if you've conquered that failure, it takes courage to stand up there and do it. It takes courage to stand up somewhere and sing, especially after Julie does. It takes courage to learn a new song, to do something that's not quite in your wheelhouse. And the folks in the band, we have done some weird stuff in this band, stuff that we're not comfortable with, right? But we go into it with an open mind and we have the courage to try it, and man, we fall down a lot, but we get right back up, okay? So I want to end with a brief story about music and courage that affected my life a great deal. Many, many years ago, there was a bartender, and he was kind of an amateur guitarist. Nobody knew he played music at all. At that point in his life, he had played less music live than anyone in A Street or 2U or any of these groups. He was known as a bartender, where jazz musicians played. But in his spare time, in the dark, under the cover of night, he wrote little tunes. And then one day he gathered up the courage to ask these jazz musicians if they would like to play some of his songs with him. And they didn't know he was a musician. These are some of the baddest musicians in town. They didn't even know he could play. So it took a great deal of courage for him to do that. On the flip side, those jazz musicians did not dismiss him. They didn't say, "I don't know you, we have our own thing." It took a great deal of courage for them to say, "Yeah, we'd rather make music than not make music." And so they got together in the guy's basement, and it was terrible, and it was awful, but they really had a good time. And they said, "Let's keep doing this. We have the courage to keep doing it." And they said, "God, this sucks. We need a bass player." So they had the courage to go out and find a bass player. And then weirdly enough, they said, "This one song sounds like it should get a fiddle on it." So they went and they found a fiddle player, and this band was so ridiculously weird, and there was a guitar and drums and bass, which is not weird, but there's a violin and a saxophone, and everybody was like, "Nobody wants to hear this. This is terrible. Why would I listen to this?" Years and years and years later, a much younger and slimmer version of myself would hear this band on the radio, and it changed my life enormously. But I can tell you that that original event that caused that band to start, that rarely happens. Rarely do those musicians have the courage to go to better musicians and say, "I want your help. I want you to do this with me." Rarely do those better musicians act with grace and humility and say, "Let's make music instead of not," right? But also, they lived in a community of courage where all of these musicians supported one another. There were rock guys who went to jazz guys things, and there were jazz guys who went to country things, and they all supported one another. So when someone said, "Hey, I've got some tunes," there was no negativity. There was no pushback. It was all of them being courageous enough to make that music. And you know what? They failed horribly, horrendously, and they're all millionaires now. Failure, right? This is why when you look at a 5th grade band starting out, it's 60 kids. 6th grade, 40 kids. 7th grade, and so on, because it's very hard to deal with that massive amount of failure and falling down. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do. And here's the other thing, it never, ever, ever ends. It never ends. I will never be happy with the way that I play the saxophone. It's just not ever going to happen. So you have to have the courage to face that, to go, "I'm never going to get where I want to go. I have to accept the journey." That's one of the most difficult things in the world to do, is to be happy with yourself. And I can tell you, I'm not really very happy with myself most of the time, but musically, I've found that place. You have to have the courage to find out who you are and what it means to be a musician and how you're going to handle that failure. Most people in their life do not deal with as much failure as musicians do, as creatives do, as artists do. Trying to get something that lives only in your head out into the world is one of the most frustrating and difficult things that you can do. And this is true of anything, of art, of parenting. How many parents do we have here, right? You go into parenting with all these grand ideas, and how many of them fall completely flat? So many of them. Everyone up here that's performed has failed 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, and had the courage to get up and look in the mirror and go, I don't want to stop here. I can do better than this. And that's completely intrinsic. You can't teach that to people. They have to be self-motivated to do that. You have to have a passion and a desire and courage to do those things. So our next song that we're going to play is about that kind of courage. We have this influx of incredible female singer-songwriters right now that are doing so many great things and writing about topics that you usually do not hear. So this is a song about women who just have had enough, and have the courage to say so.
Things are getting better, but right now it's not looking great. My ceiling still is spinning from a night that went too late. I used to sleep this off and let the shame just melt away, but not for tiny feet in hallway calling out my name. It's not that I don't love you, I wouldn't touch the hands of time. It's not that I don't long to feel your tiny hand in mine. I'm not a perfect woman, Lord, I don't wish it all away. My name can't be Mama today. Today I didn't listen to the voice inside my head. I peeled out of the driveway, left my family in bed. Now it wouldn't be easier to quit the road and just stay home. I lose myself inside the halls, unsatisfied, alone. Sometimes all I want is to run back to you at night, to rock you to sleep and keep the blues out of your eyes. I'm not the kind of woman that would throw it all away, but my name can't be Mama today. I drive my mother crazy out here traveling the world. Freewheeling in the city, I'm a solitary girl. I'm living in the moment, knowing might come a day, but my name can't be Mama today. It's not that I don't want to, I just don't want to today. I'm not a fan of mornings and I love my Chardonnay. No, I'm not saying never, I won't wish it all away, but my name can't be Mama today. Oh no, my name can't be Mama today.
Hello. Oh, it is on. Hello. What a wonderful day for a song. Wonder if the sky is turning bluer yet. Oh, the sun is out. We love it. Before I was a minister, everyone before they were a minister was something. I was a consummate performer in East Tennessee, where I'm from, Tennessee Valley. Go Vols, just beat Alabama. Finally, at long last, the rain is over. But I was a consummate performer. I grew up playing old-time country folk music with my papa on the front porch in Rockwood, Tennessee. I've done other things too, as a spoken word poet and an actor and a drag queen, and sometimes all of those things at the same time. Those are really fun nights. Those are really fun days. I learn a lot about ministry and vulnerability when you're up there trying to be a triple threat, right? Music in particular, though, was my first love. It's where I really learned how to let myself go, and that courage and that vulnerability that Bob lifted up that is required by musicians. Right. I've played with lots of different projects, from folk punk bands on the street of Knoxville, Tennessee, to like high-end bluegrass projects at East Tennessee State University. All of them had this opportunity for me to just get out of my own way and to shake it off. Those needs to get it all right all the time, because you're not. You're going to fail constantly, gloriously, and you can learn from those opportunities. There are ways to put yourself back together again, to improve as an artist. But for me, it was personally never about being the hotshot mandolin or banjo or guitar player. It was this borderline spiritual experience, maybe kind of like blacking out, losing yourself in the moment when you're just in it, just where you're giving yourself over to the craft, and it is the line separating you from the song, your body from the dance, the poem from the poet, evaporate. And all things meld into one for a moment. And I wonder if this sense is as old as it feels, because it feels like touching on the sublime. I'm reminded of that poem by Hadvik. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. She's a Beguine poet. All things are too small to hold me. I am so vast. In the infinite I reach for the uncreated. I have touched it. It undoes me, wider than wide. Everything else is too narrow. You know this as well, you who are also there. Think just about any performer, any creative, anybody, even if you don't think of yourself as creative, if you've ever lost yourself in the craft or the making of something, that spark of creativity, you've touched it, and it has undone you, wider than wide. Well, you've been there as well. What a beautiful transcendental experience to lose oneself in the blur between the craft and the creator. That is us. We human animals endowed with this spark, this zhuzh, this moment of creativity. We get to bring something wonderful into the world, whether that's a new piece of code for our software developer friends, or a new song, or a dance, whatever it looks like, friends. Whatever it is, grasp it how you can. Because this is the spark that allows us to change, to be changed. Music for me and ministry are like this. I talked about my front porch with my papa. I'll get off this microphone for a second. Oscar's right, to give a preacher a microphone. So I got my first mandolin when I was 15 years old at the Walmart in Rockwood, Tennessee, back when they still sold terrible instruments. I mowed a lot of lawns, and I really wanted to play mandolin because I had just heard Nickel Creek and Chris Thile on the radio. I'm like, oh, wow, what is that? My hands were not quite big enough to play a guitar yet, so Papa was like, well, you should just get this mandolin. So I did. I spent $50 at the Walmart, got the worst mandolin. It was more plastic than wood, y'all. But I played the tar out of that thing. Played it, and I struggled with it, but my papa was there with me. This old man, never really was trying to get big in Rockwood or anything. Played at the American Legion, played for fun, got his first guitar from a Sears catalog, and his brother burned it in a fire. Like, that thing would have been worth so much money these days. But we would sit on his front porch for hours at a time, while my other friends were doing hoodlum stuff, stealing stop signs, small town America, y'all. They're wild now. But I would be there with my papa, playing on the front porch, being good, getting better bit by bit, being encouraged along the way, told just to listen and to feel the music, because he could read music, and neither could I. Never could. And so in 2012, I came out as a trans woman to my family in a pretty inhospitable climate, in a more inhospitable time then than it was today. And I was certain that this rock that I had rested my heart on was going to go away. And I had prepared myself for that. All this tension, and I go tell my grandfather. And he's like, well, okay. And he did not understand for a long, long, long time. And I've been told multiple times by multiple people, well, time heals all wounds. Is that true? It's hard to believe that when you're 23 and full of something in vinegar, just at the little cruelties of the world that take you down bit by bit. But I still found that opportunity to connect because we would still sit on the front porch and play some music, just because that's what we had always done. And over time, one day we were sitting, hot summer in Rockwood, Tennessee, air so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. And he put down his guitar and he says, I need to tell you something. This is maybe 6 years into my transitions. I need to tell you something. I just want to apologize if I've ever said anything untowards or unkind. You see, and for better or worse, I watched a documentary about Caitlyn Jenner. And I had feelings about that, I still do, but I will take what I can get, y'all. And I just think that persistent connection that music provided my grandfather and I really bridged a gap. And so I rest my faith in this. Everyone is capable of fundamental radical transformation. And this mindfulness that we ought to not mistake ignorance for malice. No, certainly sometimes people can be malicious, but things like music speak to something essential about the human character. That's sublime element, right? The thing that's always within our touch, right there, just under our nose. Music has a humanizing quality to it. Creativity is a human endeavor. It's a human quality to it. It bridges gaps. It promises transformation. It gives us permission to see the human in the other, to bridge gaps of alterity, and to sing together. It's better to make music than to not make music. That's right. We love it. Sing, friends, craft, create, dance, paint. I don't care what you do. Get your hands in the messiness of creativity. Touch the untouchable. Let it undo you. Let it undo this world and all of its pain and all of its vicissitudes and all of its heartbreak. Let it undo all of it. And let's be remade in that image of love with a stroke of a pen or a pick of a string, whatever it is, y'all. Let's sing together some more. Get up here, y'all. No, speaking of playing music on the front porch in Rockwood, Tennessee, you might have heard this song before in a church. Where's all my papers at? I rewrote this song for water communion. No sinners, a little bit more gender expansive. And we invite you to sing along with us as well. Down to the river to pray, sisters, brothers, kindred, mothers, fathers, parents, children, and we all in clapping on everybody. Everybody, let's go down. Let's go down. Don't you want to go down? Let's go down to the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, come on down. Come on, sisters, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and what shall turn this world around? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, let's go down. Come on down. Come on, brothers, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and what shall call the thunder down? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, kindred, let's go down. Let's go down, come on down. Come on, kindred, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall light the fire now? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, mothers, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, mothers, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall throw the tyrants down? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, fathers, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, fathers, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall sing the mighty sound? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, parents, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, parents, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall laugh the morning round? Oh, love, show me the way. Oh, children, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Come on, children, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Oh, love, show me the way. Everybody, let's go down, let's go down. Don't you want to go down? Everybody, let's go down, down in the river to pray. Amen.
All right, so it's my turn. All right, so I asked the choir the other night before we started, I asked them to consider a question, and then we spent some time having them answer it. And I'm going to ask you the same question. What's one of your earliest memories of making music with other people? So, we heard children's choir. We heard singing on the front porch. We heard the paper keyboard that they would practice on, and then they take it to their lesson and make music that way. They actually get to hear what it sounded like. We heard playing duets with a teacher at church. We heard playing duets with 40 pianos on stage. I mean, imagine. So wonderful music making. No, some people didn't answer, but nobody said, I have no idea. There were things that stuck. Making music with other people sticks. And one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately is the fact that sometimes some of our music making is exclusionary. When you have to read music to make music with the choir, that feels not great. I don't love that. There have been people who've come to choir, love to sing, but we do read music. It's like knowing a foreign language. It's like knowing how to read a map with secret symbols and you don't know the secret. And so that's unfortunate. Sometimes we find that in our hymns too, right? Like there'll be a hymn and we're like, oh. So the people who read music give it their best shot, and the people who don't read music have to listen to that. So it's a weird it's a weird combination. So one of the things that's happening, how do we avoid this? How do we get more people singing together? And one of the things Bob and I have been talking about is what we modeled for you today, is teaching something. You don't have to know how to read music. You don't have to know how to read to echo when we sing something to you. And I think you're going to be seeing more of that because that's happening in our denomination. Our last 2 music conferences have been, they've had an extra component to them. It's called the Song Leaders Convergence, where they teach music. They have sessions where songs are just being taught by rote, by echo, like we did. And those sessions were better attended this year than the sessions where they got all the music out and everybody sings through the choral music. So there's something happening. This music is happening at protests, it's happening at GA, it's happening around. I'm doing it once a month with the kids in RGL because it's important. Singing is important. Making music together is important. We're going to sing a song in just a second called There Has to Be a Song. To make your burdens bearable, the choir will sing. To make your hopes believable, there has to be a song. So sometimes the world is hard. Singing helps. So let's do it together. And if you'd like to be part of this group that's now going to walk up, let me know. If you'd like to make music with us, come on up, choir. We have one more song for you.
One of the absolute hardest things to do in music is be a page turner for a pianist. What a stress-inducing. So anyone who's ever done it, God bless you. The band has 2 more tunes. This next one is one that I wrote. We're going to ask you to... Oh. Is this the one you want me to sit on? Yeah. So this is an original of mine. It reflects some of our values. I think you'll enjoy it. We're going to ask you to help us out on the chorus. The chorus is very simple. It's 2 words. Ain't nobody. And I'm from the same area of the country as Juniper, more southeast Kentucky than East Tennessee, but same region. And we use ain't quite a bit down there. And people say, ain't's not a word. And if they say that to you, say it is a word, it's a contraction. And they'll say, a contraction of what? And you say, ain't not. And then you wait for them to... They will usually walk away in confusion. All right. You're going to hear from a lot of folks on this one. Mark's going to start us out and take us to church a little bit.
Nobody cast out for who they love. Ain't nobody cast out for who they love. Just leave them folks alone. Let them do what they want done. Ain't nobody cast out for who they love. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. You got it. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody. Nobody should be judged by their skin. Ain't nobody should be judged by their skin. So let them people in. Being different ain't no sin. Ain't nobody should be judged by their skin. You know the words. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody. Said ain't nobody should be in jail for weed. Ain't nobody should be in jail for weed. So let them people out. Let them smoke and twist and shout. Said ain't nobody should be in jail for weed. And the president agrees. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody.
nobody in here that we don't love. Ain't nobody in here that we don't love. We're gonna love them all to death, right up to our last breath. Said ain't nobody in here that we don't love. Sing it with me. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody, ain't nobody, ain't nobody, ain't nobody, ain't nobody. Ain't nobody, sing it with me. Ain't nobody, 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 ain't nobody. The A Street Band, everybody.
Dang, Bobby. Go in peace. Go in kindness. Go in love. Go in faith. Leave the day behind us. Day is done. Go into the night, not afraid, not alone. Let us hope by some good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Let us hope by some good pleasure safely to arrive at home.
Thanks, everybody. The A Street Band, the UCL Choir, our friends from Second Unitarian in Omaha, Reverend Juniper Meadows, Oscar Sinclair. Thank you very much.
And all the sound people back there, thank you very much.
The sound people and Bob Fusen. Two quick announcements as we go out. One, go get pumpkins. There are a whole lot of them there, and we do not want them in this church at the end of the day. Two, this is the last Sunday to record oral histories. If you have not done that yet, and you want to, this is your chance. If you are tired of me asking you about it, this is the last time I'm going to on Sunday. So I've got those boxes out there. I will be bothering all of you. Thank you so much for being here, and go in peace.
Well, that was a fucking good time.
Nice work. Weird chords on the kind of scary. I lost count. Okay, are we here together? Faith, I think we're here. That's part of the allure of the whole thing. Feel attention.